world is not the same. Things have changed. Everything has changed.
Today we have with us Bhavya Chitranshi. Bhavya is doing action research on indigenous single women farmers in India. She's currently in India on her fieldwork at the moment amidst, and this all happened while COVID just kind of happened as well. So today we're going to be chatting to her about some methodological and fieldwork challenges that have appeared as a result of the spread of COVID. So, Bhavya, let's just begin with your introduction and a little bit about you and about your research, and then your methods as well.
Yeah, thanks, Marina. I'm happy to be here. I'm basically an action researcher, and I'll get into what action research is, but I'm at the moment doing my fieldwork in India with a group of, with a collective of single women farmers that I've been working with for a very long time. It's almost been 7 years, and the work that we've been doing is sort of collaborative action research work, wherein I was part of co-founding this group with the group of single women as part of my master's research, and I was based in this village. And at this point, my plan was to further take that research further in the PhD.
Yeah.
And because this is community-based action research, collaborative action research, where the women from this collective are my co-action researchers, hence this situation, this COVID situation where, we need to be in social distancing and I cannot visit the field, etc. Like the fieldwork has sort of come to a halt, and I'm not managing to visit the village and work with the women that I've been doing.
Great. And can you give us a very brief overview of action research?
Yeah, sure. So action research basically is a kind of research which has a component of designing a project, which is transformation based. So it combines action and research in a way that while you're researching a certain process, you're also trying to change something in about the situation that you're researching, and it's along with the co-participants that they become your co-action researchers, and usually in phases like research the context that you're working in. You sort of try and understand what the problem or the issue or the concern is, and then you design an action plan that would sort of bring some small or minor changes that people want to see for themselves. And so then you become part of that action process, and then you research the process itself, that how was this process of this practice of research that was conducted. So that's basically action research and loosely put there.
So now, what are some of the challenges? Now that you're in the field, what are some of the challenges that, of course, your research has come to a halt as well, and that's something that's directly an impact of COVID. But what are some of the other challenges being in the field in this and in this type of action research more broadly?
Yeah, so I was supposed to begin my fieldwork in the month of March, which is when the agriculture season sort of ends, and the women are free to sort of engage in research work. That was the plan, and my research was divided, like my plan was divided in 3 phases. In the first phase, it was pure research that I was supposed to do with the participants for 2 months. And then the agriculture work starts in around June. And the plan was to do collective agriculture as part of my action research work, because the work is focused on exploring traditional indigenous practices and knowledge systems around agriculture and women's role in farming. So as of now, I think it's sort of a good thing that we are in a very remote location, and there's not much impact that is felt in terms of the number of cases as to where I am compared to if I was in any other part of the country like Delhi or any of the like Mumbai or any of the metropolitans. So it's good in that sense. And Orissa, where I am, Orissa as a state is quite equipped with managing because there are a lot of disasters that keep happening in the state, like floods and droughts and recurrent, earthquakes, high cyclones, etc. So it's quite equipped in managing sort of these situations. So since the beginning, it has been creating mechanisms to support people and to bring in migrants, but put them into quarantine, and then or they actually Orissa announced lockdown much before we had the national lockdown. They've been taking a lot of precautionary measures, so we are not impacted in that way. And thankfully, the community that I'm working with, because they had just finished the agriculture season, like in February it ends, because that's why March we was trying to start the field work. February it ends, so they have enough food supply at this point because they've produced food and all. So right now they're saying that till July or August they will have enough food to sustain themselves. That's a positive, and we hope to have more systems in place around that time.
Right. And I mean, I guess broadly, I wanted to ask you as well. There's a lot of push of in this context. I mean, after COVID, on researchers to pursue digital research methods or to shift their research online. I mean, that's already quite challenging for sociological research. So I'm wondering whether that at all applies to you. I mean, you're doing community-based research, and I guess that's probably some of the things that you're hearing too as well. Is that something that you can by any way pursue? Is that something that works for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's of course phone and network available in the village now. In 5-7 years back when I was working, it wasn't even like proper phone connection. Forget the internet. It is available, but I think but most of the women in the collective that I work with do not have phones.
Yeah.
And they're most of them are above 45, so they're not even equipped with handling smartphones or even normal phones as such.
Yeah.
So even if I try to have phone interviews I'm not doing personal interviews, so I can't call just one person and speak to them. I'm doing focus group discussions, so it has to be at least 10 people in the same group, which is not what is happening at this point because 10 people cannot sit in one place. So I mean, I couldn't even try moving to digital platforms because that's not possible here. And then there are so many layers of, because the language that is spoken here is indigenous language, and then there is a language of the states, and then there is English and Hindi that I understand. And so I do understand Oriya, which is the language of this, and I speak Oriya, but most women do not speak in Oriya. So there's like levels of language barriers that we have to cross. So it's just not feasible and possible in an online platform such as this. So one thing that was definitely not a big part of my research was as such, because I was relying on working with the community as much, and it was an extensive 8-month fieldwork that I was planning to do. One thing that has happened is that I've sort of moved a little towards archival and secondary data literature, which I was doing anyway, but it was not like in the intensity that I'm trying to engage now, because I think and it's crucial. Like it's not like it's not helping or anything, but now I can at least triangulate and go back to the participants and sort of work through what's there existing in the literature and an archive, and then sort of build upon that. So this has been a new shift in the research, and I'm not sure how far it will take me, but so right now it's sort of that keeping me going. And I think that in terms of other strategies to be dealing with the research is to, I think, not stress over it too much. by this I'm not saying that it's very easy and it doesn't involve um, uh, issues of other kind, but I'm not. I mean, I'm I don't know much as to what and how you can strategize in a situation like this where I am to alter the research too much. This is one of the Kandha Adivasis. Adivasi in Hindi would translate as indigenous, but Kandha Adivasis are they get this name from the fact that they consume kanda, which is yams. Yams are called as kandha or kondha in Hindi, and their local language as well. So because they used to dig yams and depend a lot on forest produce, so they were called Kanda Adivasis, but originally they don't call themselves Kondas. They call themselves Kui Luko, which is Kui speaking people. Kui is the local language, Adivasi indigenous language that they speak. And they constitute like this community constitutes a large part of the Adivasi population in the state that I am in Orissa. Like Khond Adivasis are one of the dominant Adivasis there, and they've also like sort of moved with developmental interventions towards opening up to the city life and sort of navigating both or multiple worlds in that way. But there are also some communities that have stuck to staying in the hills, and they're called Dongaria, Khond Adivasis. They're considered one of the most primitive indigenous communities. But the ones that I'm working with, like the community that I'm working with, have not sort of moved to secondary agriculture in the last 20-30 years. From large depending on the forest, they were horticulturists first, but now they have moved to the plains and they have started doing secondary agriculture, and they sort of engage with communities and NGOs, non-governmental organizations, and state policies and things like that. So they're sitting sort of at the cusp of maintaining their traditional knowledge systems and practices in medicine and agriculture and community organization and political organizations, etc. But also from the practices and knowledges and interventions that come from the other world, which is the developmental world, or the state policies and activists and people who are trying to engage with them.
Look, I'm actually done. I mean, I've actually asked you more questions than I originally planned to, just because your work is really interesting, and I'm really, I guess I'm really interested to see what happens as soon as these challenges hopefully end, and hopefully they end soon. But anything that I have not asked that you want to comment about or say at the end of this, is there anything that you want to share with us?
No, I've had a good conversation. It's like stock taking of the things that have been happening, and it's good to be able to talk to someone and just sort of blurt it all out and say that this is where I'm at. So that has been wonderful.
Lab Coats was created by Hamid Siddiqui and Alex Ray. Our team includes Inkwayu, Marina Khan, Michael Horgan, Drew Martin, and Caden Cole. You can support us by giving us a like and sharing our content, as well as purchasing our merchandise. See description for links.